You're listening to episode 291 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh. Player 2, Crawler, what's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going? There's Crawler coming at you.
Player 3, Becker Plays. Used to be Super Nintendo. We'll get used to it. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'm still getting used to it, too, so, you know.
There you go.
It's a work in progress.
Love it, love it. Guys, the music you're hearing right now is from On Being Human. You can check them out on Spotify and YouTube. Remember, this is an unofficial Nintendo podcast. And if you'd like to pick up my book, I just lowered the price. It's now $9.99. You can pick up the paperback, n64josh.com/anothercastle. If you have Kindle Unlimited, you can get it for free on there. And if you've never signed up for Audible, if you go to n64josh.com/audible, you can get it for free on Audible. If you're already a member, it's like right around $5, I think. So check that out. The Satisfy Grip. I was playing Fortnite this last weekend, handheld, and the Satisfy Grip is so good. So I'm gonna start pushing this thing, because if you play handheld a lot, go and pick one of these things up. You can head right over to n64josh.com/switchgrip, or I also have a new store set up on Amazon. It's my Nintendo Switch recommendations, so it's games, accessories, all that stuff. n64josh.com/Amazon will take you there, and it's worth noting that Pokemon Sword and Shield right now are $40 on the on Amazon. So that's
they have
cool.
They have Satisfy grips for both light and regular, right?
They do, and I mean I was seriously getting fatigued. My hands were hurting trying to play, and then I was like, I gotta go grab my grip. I put it on, and I just, if you play handheld much at all, it is definitely worth getting one of these Satisfy grips. So again, that's n64josh.com/switchgrip if you just want to go right to the listing on Amazon, or you can go check out the new store I've set up on Amazon, and I'm going to continue adding to that. And I want to hear from you guys too. If you're like, hey, how come you don't have this on here? This is an amazing thing. Let me know. I want to make this store a resource for Switch owners or potential Switch owners, so that they know the right things to get. Almost everything is something that I own that I'm recommending, or at least I know something about. I'm not putting anything up there that I haven't used myself, or at least know of somebody that has used it. So
maybe get a streamer shop set up as well.
Yeah,
like a essentials for streaming.
It's absolutely happening. Yeah, it's on the list. So it will be happening. So, and they'll all be in that one place. That's n64josh.com/Amazon. With that, we can get to the announcements.
Hey, listen!
All right, Animal Crossing podcast still going strong. We got the Smash Bros tournament. It's happening this Saturday. n64josh.com/smash. You can go and sign up right there. It's a $20 Amazon gift card for first place. I think Crawler's laughing at the way I said smash.
I always enjoy it.
Yeah, every time. I don't know why. It's like I can't do it.
Sally sells she sells down by the seashore.
Yeah, exactly. n64josh.com/smash. There you go.
There you go.
So go sign up right on my site. You can register right there. Smash Bros. Cast had an episode come out last week, I believe. So yeah, you guys can go check out episode like 83, I think it is, or 84. Mario Kart is still happening Mondays and Fridays, 6 p.m. at the latest. Sometimes it's been starting a little sooner. So if you want to jump in for some races, Splatoon has been happening on Saturday mornings. We got the Halloween Splatfest coming up. I'm picking Trick. So if you guys want to be able to play with me during the Splatfest, you got to go Team Trick.
Oh, hey, Mr. Troll picks Trick. Surprise, surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. And Mr. Cool Red Luigi's here in chat. He was our guest on Smash Bros. Cast. So yeah, go definitely check out that episode.
Yeah, it was a good time. So, lastly, I've started putting out gameplay videos on my YouTube channel with no commentary, and this came about because my sister-in-law and my sister both have younger younger kids who love to watch YouTube, but they get so tired of listening to the commentary from some of the YouTubers. And I'm like, well, I want to practice Smash every day. I don't mind just racing Mario. I've had many people ask me, hey, I just want to watch you play the tracks on Mario Kart so I can see what your line is and how so here's the thing. I got some of these going already. There's Pikmin's up there, Mario Kart, Smash. If you watch the Smash, I'm asking for critiques. If you're a Smash player, go and watch my gameplay. I'm posting whether I win or lose, and I want critiques. I want to see, because it's cool for me being able to go back and watch it, because I can see, yep, I should have done this. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. And the other thing is, when I'm not streaming it, I can really focus on the gameplay, which is not something I get to do all that much, because I'm back and forth between chat and playing. So my nephew, he's 5. He goes to watch the Mario Kart one. I'm on the Twisted Mansion level, and I don't have a mushroom, so I can't take the shortcut. And as soon as he starts, he's like, "Oh, he already missed a shortcut," you know. And then,
it's kind of like my 4-year-old telling me on Monday night that 4th place was just what did she say?
At least you got
pretty
4th.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So, yeah. So if you've got younger kids that you want them to be able to watch some gameplay without having to listen to, sometimes the people can get obnoxious when they're playing these games, and so it's just gameplay. It's just game audio, and that's it. So youtube.com/n64josh. Go check it out. With that, let's head on over to what we've been playing. All right, so Becker, kick this off.
Oh,
for
hi,
us.
hello.
Yeah,
Yes.
Hey, how are you?
Hi. I'm good. Thanks for asking. I'm just hanging out, listening to. I thought I was listening to the podcast for a second. I was just zoning out, playing a game, of course. But I Cook Serve Delicious 3 is it's awesome. I think Cook Serve Delicious 2 right now is like $2.99 on the eShop.
Okay.
But then Cook Serve Delicious 3. There are 3. It's Cook Serve Delicious ! 3 ? So, but
Got
yeah,
it.
so the game. As for the game,
What is that gameplay like? Because I'm not familiar.
yeah, so it's basically like you are cooking everything. So before you run a food truck. So before you start the day, you pick your dishes, and they have like rankings, whether it's like 0. It's basically how much effort you need to put into it and how many steps there are for making it. So some you got to cook, and then you got to prepare afterwards. Like you might cook like pancakes, so you can make a bunch of them, and then they only last so long. So you're a lot of multitasking. So it'll show a big line of people, and then on the left will be all the stuff you need to get, and then up top you can have stuff that you cook that'll stay fresh for a while, and then you got to go customer by customer and help them all out. So you might it's a lot of like just seeing what the customer wants and then clicking on it. And then like the pancakes, for instance, you pick the pancakes, then they might want pancakes plus butter and syrup and whipped cream on top. And then so you got to put all of them in order, but you might accidentally hit the wrong button and give them like strawberries instead of the butter, and then they'll be pretty pissed at you. And so it's
it's multitasking, but less kitchens on fire compared to Overcooked.
Right, yeah. Like I got to the point, it's basically in the future, just like kind of Overcooked kind. Well, no, is Overcooked someone from the future comes to the past? Is that what it is?
One of them is like in a dystopian future. I don't know.
Yeah, this one is like the same thing, a dystopian future, and you by the end of the second game you have like this huge tower, and like you just keep on building on it, and it blows up and gets destroyed in the apocalypse at the beginning of this one. So you got just this food truck, and then the more you do, the more you can like upgrade and add more slots, so you can have more food cooked up. So basically, when you go to cook the pancakes or the chicken strips or the soft pretzels, it'll tell you, okay, this stop we're coming up to, we're gonna need 11 pretzels, 15 pancakes. So then that way you know you can prepare ahead of time and get it all ready. But yeah, it's definitely a fast-paced game and a game about multitasking. And then the other game I've been playing, aside from like Animal Crossing, is the Red Lantern. I don't think I can actually talk. I can't give a review of it, but I can say I played it and it's fun so far. It's like a roguelike game, it turns out. So it's like a 4 or 5 hour story. But then when you're done, you can replay and then just keep going after the story. And then it's all about finding food and stuff like that.
And that's the dog sled race kind of game,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're being pulled by a dog sled. Yeah. And in the options, there's an option where it says all dogs make it out safely. So you can make it so none of the dogs die if you want. So,
Can you pet the dog?
There's no, I haven't seen an option to pet the dog yet, but I haven't stopped for the night. So we haven't stopped to set a fire or anything. I've only gone hunting and
yeah, because that may
that's sprayed by a skunk. I haven't gotten close enough to them to actually pet them yet.
Yeah, because that made news this week that you can pet the dog in Monster Hunter.
So, yeah, there's a whole Twitter account.
That's where it came out, I think, right? Or no, Monster Hunter tweeted at them or something. Like, hey, you can pet your dog.
You can pet the dog.
You can pet the dog in Hades. So I mean, that's kind of you have to put that in your game now, I feel like.
Well, this Twitter account has like hundreds of thousands of followers, and that's all they do. They just find games that you can pet dogs in.
Pet the dog.
And that's it. Can you pet the dog? So, interesting. I mean, that's the content I'm on Twitter for. So.
Right. Yeah. And then, that's
it's a more wholesome Twitter there.
Yeah. That's pretty much all I've been playing aside from, Pac-Man battle royales,
Right. Yeah. I saw you.
I do want to hear about that, but yeah, you won one. So.
Yeah, I won one. That was I played 2 games. It's like 64 players of Pac-Man, right? And everyone's board is connected. And so you can go into the other boards. And if you get a power pellet on their board, you can eat them.
Interesting.
And
do you see
that comes to the Switch.
I was to say, do you see that coming to Switch? I was asking Josh about that before we went live.
I don't know. I mean, it's like
Stadia paid for exclusivity kind of a little bit, right?
Right. I think it's like timed exclusive, so we'll see.
Interesting. What have you been doing in Animal Crossing?
Animal Crossing? Well, I've been helping my son. He's been wanting me to help him redesign. See, here's the thing. I'll be honest with you. My son calls me up on his mom only lets him play on the weekends now.
Okay.
Right. So he can't play during the week. So what he does during the week is just watch YouTube videos about Fortnite. And he'll watch the videos and then call me and be like, "Daddy, you know why I'm calling, right?" And I'm like, "Why are you calling now? What's going on?" And he'll say, "I need you to get me up 25 tiers. So he's like 150 or something right now. And he's like, "I need to get up to 200 so I can get all the hologram colors." And then he called me today and he was like, "I need you to get me the Logan Wolverine, because a Wolverine without his costume."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh geez." Well, I was like, "What do you need to do?" He's like, "Well, all you need is 60 challenges." So I sign in. I'm like, "All right, let me see how many you got." He's like 29. And I was like, "Wait a minute. I'm not going to get you." He's like, "That's what you have to do, Daddy." And so
You got nothing better. You got nothing better to do, right?
Yeah, so he'll call me at his lunch break. So he'll be like, I'm about to make myself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I just wanted to see how much progress you made. I was like,
He's
it's been 2
cracking
hours.
the
What do you
whip.
mean?
He is cracking the whip.
Well, so what you need to do is you need to, or he needs to wise up and tell you that you need to start streaming it so he can watch you playing for him to get the stuff.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've already done that. He's asked me to do that. He's like, can you stream it and make that's what brought on the name changes, because he didn't like that it said Super Nintendo Dad, because he's like, no one knows that I'm related to you. So if you say Becker plays, everyone knows my name's Becker. I was like, okay. So the point of that is he then wanted all the Halloween stuff. So he was like, can you just log into my name in Animal Crossing? I was like, oh, thank goodness. I was like, I can't do it. It's saved onto your system.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, darn. So now he's been playing Animal Crossing. He's like, I need you to come over and help me pick. I've got weeds everywhere. And I had like,
Say, are you
crafting?
crafting double now to take stuff over to his island?
Yeah. So I had to like do the time traveling in a way that I was able to get Jack's costume and everything else that he gives you multiple times. So I got a lot. I've got like 5 Jack's pumpkin heads. I think I gave one to Josh. And
So you're just Marty McFly in Animal
Marty
Crossing.
McFly, yeah. He invited me over to go trick or treating with him, and he was like, "Oh, I can't wait for Santa Claus to come." And I was like, well, I don't think I forget what his name is, but it's close enough, you know? But he's like, yeah, as soon as Halloween's over, I'm going right to Christmas. I was like, well, no, because it's not in there yet. He's like, all right, that's fine.
I'm going right to Christmas.
So that's what he's been up to. And he's brought me along with him.
I love it. Good stuff. Crawler, what you been playing?
I've been playing a little bit of Minecraft Dungeons because my kids are all hyped on the Steve train. So a little bit of Smash and Minecraft Dungeons and actual Minecraft. And William found Double Dash this weekend sitting around, and he's like, "Can we play this?" And I was like, "Yeah, we can play this. We got to play it on the big TV over there because it's not hooked up on anything here in my gaming setup." So we played on the Wii. And did some Double Dash doubles together on 50cc and got all that done. So we'll progress a little bit further and maybe do some more of that. But he likes throwing the items, and we didn't really switch and do driving yet, but we'll get there. And so yeah, that's been fun. And just seeing the differences in some of the updated tracks that they took out of Double Dash with the expansion of the hover mode and underwater and that kind of stuff. Is interesting to see on some of those courses that they pulled out of that particular game into Mario Kart 8. Also playing, like I said, Smash. We did the episode this week. We played a little bit more. Steve's interesting, but I'm back playing Corn a little bit more and just keep working on that. I know you and I have both been working on increasing our GSP and just working for Elite Smash if we ever can get there.
With what, Steve? Or just
no, I'm working with Corin.
Oh, okay.
My Game & Watch is kind of in the basement. I need to get him back out a little bit, but that's what happens with characters you play a lot. You fluctuate. And then I haven't gone back to Mario 35, but I am kind of interested in maybe grinding it out to try to get this Easter egg that came about today. And then I'm still waiting to get back. I need to get back into Sunshine, but yeah, I mean, plate's pretty full. Been playing lots of games. I played OBS Studio this weekend, working on getting stuff set up. So maybe you'll see some streams because I actually put in the work. I got scenes. I can change cameras right there. See, right?
There you
go. So yeah, we're having fun.
That's great. That's cool. So of course Mario Kart, right? We got that every week, and still just I think I hit 25K finally for the VR or whatever. So we're a quarter of the way there to 100K. Mario Kart Live.
I'm 2 points off. 22,222. It kind of upset me.
Oh, no.
That's how it ended.
That's funny. That's funny. I picked up Mario Kart Live on Friday, and I got to tell you, I cannot believe how fun this thing is. I have a full review up on YouTube if you guys want to check it out. But we took it over to my aunt and uncle's house 2 nights ago, and their cats were in the way. Like, that's, everybody's loving watching cats play with Mario Kart Live. Our dog was laying in the track at one point, and it's crazy. 150cc is moving compared to 50 and 100, the way the car is moving through your room. And 200, which I haven't even unlocked yet, is probably just nuts. Like, I don't think 200, you have to have a pretty decent sized space, because you
get moving pretty good.
Sorry,
I want to hear, just like, because you play 4 different variants of the same course, right? In a Grand Prix. Or can you change the course in between?
I'm not sure, because of the space we were playing in. We just kept playing. I think you play the same variant 4 times. I think that's how it goes. You may be able to change it in between if you want to, but
you have like an underwater version and like a Bowser Castle version.
Yep. And there's a World 1-1 version that looks it's got nothing but like pixelated Goombas on the track, and all the gates become decorated with whatever the theme of the world is. And so
do some of them in that variation become the hazard gates, like with piranha plants or fireballs or that kind of stuff?
Yes. So there's one that's like you're in the jungle, kind of like a DK jungle, and there's a piranha plant sitting on one side of the gate up above, and if you go under, like, say it's on the right side, if you go under the right side, it will grab Mario right out of the cart, and it's got him by the head, and he's just hanging, and his feet are dangling.
Pretty graphic for a Mario game.
and then it spits him back out. But the cart, the strange thing is you lose control at that point, and the cart just it comes to a stop, but it just goes straight. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You don't have any control until it puts it back in, and then you're back on the track and going. But I mean, you use the right trigger to power slide and get your turbos, and you've got mushrooms that will speed you up. You can use your bullet bill, and it takes control of the cart and just drives for you. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's the way they've figured out the sense of speed on the screen that you're watching versus what the little car is doing. It's very much like, I'm trying to remember, there's I don't know if it was a movie or TV show where they get shrunk down, and everything's like so dramatic inside like the vehicle or whatever, and then when it pans away and you're just looking, it's just this little tiny like Hot Wheel car just barely doing anything. That's kind of what it's like, because you're looking at the screen, you're like, oh, there's so much going on, then you look down and you're like, you're just driving around like it's nothing, So
I think they did that in like the Ant-Man movie, like the trains coming at each
other.
That's
what it is.
That's what it is, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, does it seem like what about the video? Is the video like jittery when you're driving, or does it stay smooth as long as you got a good connection?
Yeah, so the only thing I found that to hinder the video is if it goes behind a wall. Like, we set up to where we were driving all the way through my living room, around my kitchen, and then back into the living room again, and it would get a little hiccup if it did that. Now, I'm thinking if I could probably, while we were testing it, I was letting everybody in the house that was down there with me play it. So I probably could have sat in one spot in particular and had no issues with the connection. When we were
is it the connection to the Switch, or is it the connection to how close you are to the router? Because doesn't it hijack the Wi-Fi?
I don't know exactly how it works. You have a signal bar, and if you go behind a wall, the signal bar goes down. So I don't,
because I can't imagine that all that data travels via Bluetooth. That seems like a lot of data.
I'm not really sure. When we set up a track that went into the other kitchen when we were went into their kitchen when we were at my aunt and uncle's house, and that was the same thing. Depending on where you were sitting, you would get a little bit of interference and the camera would kind of glitch out a little bit. So we just moved it into the living room. We just did an oval and then we switched it into a figure 8 also. And, you know, we went under their coffee table and so it's really fun. I'm having all my nephews up on Friday or 5 of them anyway. And we're going to set up and let them you
can buy a second one for that.
I don't know. Not yet.
It's an expensive multiplayer experience is what it is.
It is, but here's the thing. You know, my daughter who's I think she's gonna be 15 next week. She's mentioned it a few times how much fun it was and how much she enjoyed it. You know, like it. I even talk about it in my review how I thought, oh, it's gonna be a fun little novelty, but like it's actually a really, really, really fun game. And it feels like a full-on Mario Kart experience, and I don't know. I love the fact that I'm playing on the Switch, but I'm playing on in a living room or whatever. I got a buddy. I want to get into their church and set up like in their gym, you know, and really see what this thing can do. So I'll definitely film that when I do it, because it'll be pretty rad. So,
you got to bring some ramps and some crazy stuff if you're going to do that.
Well, I want to bring a bunch of like just Nintendo items, like maybe some consoles and
that kind of stuff dominated my Twitter timeline on Friday. I feel like people setting up N64 cartridges and Amiibo and all sorts of stuff like in their track, like to outline it, so they couldn't cut the corners and that kind of stuff, and it looked pretty fun.
Yeah, I feel like if we weren't in sort of lockdown, I feel like, you know, that would be like a Mario Kart Live panel at PAX or something.
Mm-hmm.
It would be awesome.
Well, I even thought, depending on the space, like if we weren't in like a lockdown, it would be great to buy 4 of these things and offer them for parties, you know, to show up and do multiplayer for parties. But you're talking about, yeah. I mean, that's an investment, right? Because you got 4 Switches plus
Switches.
Yeah, plus the 4 carts, but
you can go a little bit cheaper and get lights, but
yeah, there you go. But it's nice to have it on the TV for everybody to be able to see what's going on. So, plus I really want to wait to see if they're going to release a Peach and a Bowser or a Toad, or if there's going to be more carts.
Right.
So
you get one of each. I wonder if like any data miners found any of that information. I didn't even look it up. But.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. But the other thing that's really great about the game is how many unlockables there are, and just there's a level of detail with Mario that gets me very excited for what could be happening in 9, right? Because you guys know how in Odyssey, Mario has he's got some character, right? He's got his eyes are moving, he's got facial expressions. But then you get to Luigi's Mansion and you play as Luigi, and it's like he's getting scared, he's reacting to environments in a way that's a step above what we saw in Odyssey. I just watched slow motion the other day of me dodging a blue shell with Mario, and he's jumping off the cart, going over a jump, and he's got a very determined look on his face, and his mustache, you know, it's blowing in the wind, whatever. But in Mario Kart Live, like you hit a boost and he's putting his hand on the top of his head to keep his hat from flying off. And there's just an element of immersion that's happening with this game that gets me very excited just thinking about 9 and what they could do there. So
does he kind of break the fourth wall a little bit too? Doesn't he like glance back up at the camera at you a little bit?
If you go in reverse, he turns around. He just looks backwards. So
okay.
Yeah, so it's I'm pleasantly surprised at how much fun it is. And like I said, once I get to 200cc and see how fast this kart goes, when we bumped it up to 150 that night we were there, it was like, this is a significant increase in speed. So
I hope the brake power slides in the game then.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, I think they were saying that at least 100 or 150 and 200 obviously work better if you're going to be on a lot of carpeted surfaces, just because the faster it goes, the better it runs on the carpet.
I see. Yeah, and
does the cart move sideways at all on power slides or no? Does it slide, or is it's just in the reality that you're seeing on the screen, and the cart just turns itself?
Yeah, it's
not
just
the real life cart.
Yeah, it's not. Oh, and Hoffman's saying Mario doesn't like hitting walls, and that's true. You hit a wall, and he's like throwing his hands up, and I think you got the rumble feature happening at the same time. It's really if you've ever flown a drone, it's very similar to that because you're just seeing it out of the camera basically. But again, yeah, you're underwater or it's raining. They did a great job. They did a really great job. So I do recommend it.
So you see it a little more than just a flash in the pan kind of deal.
I really do. Yeah. I mean,
but it's just it's a decent amount of work to get it set up. Like you have to give up part of your house to try to set it up, and then you got to lay out the course initially, and that takes time. So it's not like you can't just hop in and go right away.
Yeah. Probably the thing that is the most worrisome for me would be the cardboard gates. And that they went full Labo with this thing where they fold up into each other nicely, but that means you're constantly like, when you go to set them back up, you're using the flap to keep the gates open, right?
Because they have reflective material that are required for the game to recognize it. I think, right? It's
not even really reflective. It's just the picture is programmed. I think that's all it is. It just has to be
facing. Like a QR code kind of deal.
It's essentially what it's doing, yeah, but it just looks like it just says gate 4, gate 1, like it just knows. So
I wonder if Labo was a lot more popular if this would have been called like Mario Kart Labo instead of Mario Kart Live.
There's a chance. There's a chance it might have been. But again, the team that put it together, that reached out, or the company that put it together, I don't know that they're more of the like the RC car AR company. So I mean,
I wonder if this ever gets Labo VR support.
I mean, that would be, you'd probably get sick, honestly. You'd probably get sick. So Hoffman says you can print new ones. So, but they're cut out in such a way and put together that you can just fold them up nicely and put them back in the box, which if you're watching, you can see it right behind me on the stool there. So it's a good time. But moving on, Animal Crossing, I completed my pumpkin patch. It includes a hay maze. I have a full video up on YouTube if you're looking for some inspiration for just kind of a fall setting for Animal Crossing. I'm excited to start moving into winter and working on like a tree farm and setting up for a kind of a Christmas winter theme area on my island, but still just having a great time with that game. It's and I love, honestly, one of the best parts about it is the community. Chris came out with stuff that I needed. I'm like, man, I got an idea for this and this, and then Chris, the next day I got that recipe for the
oh, you did?
the burning leaves or whatever. I was like, oh, sweet. So because I went and looked on the southern hemisphere, I have a red leaf pile, but it takes maple leaves in order to use it. Well, those are nowhere to be found yet. That's not till November, I don't think. So anyway, but yeah, Animal Crossing, if you want to check out the video, guys, youtube.com/n64josh, it's there. Played a little bit more Mario 64, and we had some good laughs of watching me try to get, walking up all confidently to a star and then falling to the bottom of the level. So very, very typical me. And I actually picked up the battle pass of Fortnite, and I've been playing that, and actually it's been really fun. I got a shout out to Belle and Jay Harley and N64 Jen, the wife. We've been playing we played Fortnite till 2 a.m. one night, and Jen's crazy. She's like, can we keep going? I want to level up. I'm like, I'm gonna call Becker for you. Maybe he'll level
just give me a call. I'll have it done by lunch.
I'll let her know next time she's cooking dinner, to give you a call. Maybe you can sign in for her, and
I'll just sign in and I'll get whatever she needs.
Pikmin Pikmin 3 Deluxe. I absolutely adored this demo. Like, I did not stream this. I recorded the Let's Play for YouTube. It's up there if you want to check it out. I just let myself... One of the things I've had to start doing is like, okay, I quit playing games for me. Like, I quit playing games just to enjoy games. And so that's part of the reason for these no commentary Let's Plays. I can just enjoy myself. I can really get laser focused on if I'm trying to get better at Smash or Mario Kart or whatever. But then games like this, where it was just like, I'm just relaxing and gaming, and it's really fun. What's so weird is the game didn't show all that well when they showed it off. It the graphics kind of looked bad. It didn't look great.
Does Treehouse ever really put together a good presentation?
I mean, I don't know. I've never. It's one of the few times with that presentation anyway that I was like, man, this game just looks. And even chat, I remember Patuli was like, this game looks like a PlayStation 3 game or something, you know, like, and I mean, it does. It wasn't nearly as bad as that presentation. It didn't seem like anyway. So
It feels a lot better. Like, it looks a lot better when you're playing, like, even in handheld, just when you have it on the little screen, sort of like 3DS games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the graphics don't look that great when you look at screenshots of it, but when you're actually playing it, it looks a lot better.
Yeah, and it's just fun. Like, collecting the different Pikmin, like, just the way they teach you the game is also great. Like, it's very, very Nintendo as far as, like, it doesn't really hold your hand all that much. You've got to kind of figure some stuff out. It kind of prompts you to do other things, but it also encourages you to, you know, just keep exploring and keep figuring things out. And I did have one time where the little rock Pikmin didn't make it to the onion.
You watched it graphically get eaten in front of you?
No, it looked like the Gormarian guard on Return of the Jedi, like running for the gate, trying to get away from the Rancor. like I was like waiting for them to start squealing. I was like, what's happening? So the camera went black before they got devoured, but it was definitely
I killed like 17 my first night that I went back up to space. I killed like 17. I just left them there that I didn't realize. And yeah, it's pretty graphic. Like, you're like, oh, they're gonna die.
Yeah. But there's just so much charm, you know, the first boss and the stuff that happens after that. There's just there's just this, the way the characters talk reminds me of Star Fox, you know, like a little bit with just the mumbling, the way they mumble their words and stuff. I don't know. I'm really, really excited for this one. And your progress does continue over. So if you want to check out the demo, your progress will continue over. You can keep playing. And yeah, I have a feel like I'm going to try to just sit down and burn through this one and play it through to completion. So
week from Friday, right?
Yeah, it'll be out on the 30th. So, and that again, that's another game that's in my shop on Amazon. If you want to go pre-order it there, you can. So, Mario 35. Because we found out about this Easter egg, which we can just talk about. Luigi is in the game. If you hit level 100 and then you hold the L button, you can. At least that's what we've heard so far. I did play against at least one Luigi. It's a little bit hard to see everybody you're playing against, but I did see.
He stands out though. He's got white overalls.
He does, yeah, and so. So I was like, I literally noticed him. I was like, oh, there's Luigi. There was like 4 of us left, and then he got eliminated. Like, just like that. I was like, well, he's gone. So there you go. But so yeah, I'm like level, I think 70 now, which you can gain levels pretty quick. At one point I gained 5 levels in one game. So you can gain the levels pretty quick.
Are the games still like dragging out a little bit?
So here's the thing. This game is getting better and better with time, especially as more levels unlock. I was so like I had such a routine when I would play Super Mario Brothers. It was like 1, 2, skip to 3, get all the lives in 3-1, play to 4, and skip to 8. Right? So those are the levels I know like the back of my hand. Then you start getting into, now with this game, like I was in World 6 today, and what happens is they start, like, I probably had 50 spinies on my screen at once, and if you don't have a star or fire flower, you are in
or pull a POW block.
yeah, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. And so it all of a sudden got a lot more challenging, and it was a lot more fun because the Goombas and the turtles, it's like, okay, I mean, we could do this all day, right? Like full on Captain America, right? But you start throwing the spinies and bullet bills, all of a sudden it's like, okay.
Or Hammer Brothers coming in.
Oh, and they were chasing me. They would I would go past one and he would follow me and keep throwing hammers. I was like, are you kidding? And I died to a hammer. Or I think the last game I played, I got third and died to a hammer. I was like, oh, are you kidding? So yeah, as more levels unlock, it's becoming more fun. But some people are crazy in this game already. Like I saw somebody that would had prestige or whatever they're gonna call it, and they were at level 80 again with a star next to their name. I was like, what? Like what? But it's a good time. I really hope this game doesn't go away for good. I hope they bring something back in its place. I was talking today about a Mario All-Stars 35 where you could, Mario 2, Mario 3, Mario World, just somebody in chat was like, if this was new Super Mario Bros, they were, because again, it's just based on on when you got into gaming, when you started gaming. So I would love to see more from this, and just see more fleshed out. So
I hope. Well, I mean, the one thing they could do is just get rid of Mario 35 and bring out Mario 36.
Yeah. I still haven't played the prequels, so
yeah, that's true. No.
Get out.
We'll see. Yeah.
And Becker's done.
That was
I'm
a Super
back to the
Nintendo
Super
dad joke,
Nintendo,
right? Though. So, my word, where were we? No. But
Mario 35.
there is so much they could do with the game, right? I mean, they could. We talked about they could just make it so we have less time when you start. Here's what I started doing. My favorite thing, as soon as the game starts, just watch for who gets killed by the first Goomba. That's become my favorite thing, where we all just laugh as soon as somebody dies by the first Goomba. So, but of course, playing Smash, like I've mentioned, and then I hooked up. I downloaded Squadrons on my Xbox downstairs and had my uncle over yesterday, and he's the guy that got me into gaming, and I was like, hey, the wife's gone for the night, so I'm gonna make up some pizzas and beers, and we're gonna do check out the Star Wars Squadrons game. And so we got up through the fourth level or something like that, and the controls. He had literally been playing one of the flight games on the Switch, which is very arcadey, and then you go to the controls on this game and it was very different. So he was getting a little bit frustrated by that. But once we got the hang of it, there's so much I didn't realize. I just jumped into the multiplayer of that game and I had no idea about some of the stuff you could do, moving your shields front to back, the way you can select targets, all this stuff. It's super deep.
Did you get the power slide yet?
Yeah, which took me forever because I didn't realize I was supposed to fly through that second ring and then do the slide. I kept trying to slide into it, and they kept telling me, I know you can do this. I'm like, I know, I'm doing it. So it was actually quite funny because I handed the controller to him, and he just flew through both of them, and then they gave him the prompt to do the right button combination, and he did it. I'm like, that's the exact thing I was doing this whole time. So we had a pretty good laugh from that. But killer game. And I mean, it is kind of fun going, I got really good surround sound, so cranking the surround sound on a game like that with the sound design that's just absolutely stellar. It was a good time. It was a good time. So with that, we can jump on over to the news. Smash update 9.0.1 pretty much fixed all the Steve issues. So, you don't have to worry about falling through the stage anymore or getting stuck in a minecart. It was fixed, but you also lost all of your replays. So,
every time.
You also, Steve is no longer holding meat when he wins anymore. They got rid of that. He's no longer holding his meat.
Yeah, so, that was interesting. Interesting placement. So you got to wonder, was it on purpose? Somebody had to have noticed,
Someone must have laughed at it, and then they're like, "Oh, let's leave it in.
Yeah.
No one will notice."
Somebody noticed immediately. I was like, well, that's an interesting tweet. Is this real?
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. So that's out. You can update your Smash game. The little bit like we've got a few people in the community, like Rad Panda was playing Steve, and man, his edge game is something else. Like it takes some work to get back to the stage with against Steve. So I'm interested. I see different rumblings from people. Some people are still saying he's broken, he's OP. You know, I'm in the mindset.
It just takes time for that to even out.
Yeah, and I'm of the mindset right now. I'm like, I told Panda, I'm like, hey, I just want to play. I want to learn the matchup. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get. I want to figure out. My mind is just going. I'm like, okay, I could stall a little bit more. I could jump later and get back, you know, land on the plat maybe depending on the stage. So yeah, hidden level in chat is like I'm starting to see Steve's edge game memes already. Yeah, I mean that the fire and the down smash are both like they're pretty nasty, and I'm wondering like, can I cape the fire? You know, like so we'll have to.
You should be able to the flint and steel fire.
Yeah,
I think you should be able to.
I think so too. I just don't know if it'll change the direction of it, you know? So
I mean it falls, so you should just not get damaged by it, but I don't know. You can cape Ness's stuff, right?
Yep. Yeah. I did cape the minecart the other day and it stopped it in its tracks.
And flood stops it as well.
Yeah. So I introduced my son to Steve last night, and he was like, immediately hit up B and flew to his death. I was like, yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So, Game & Watch, November 13th, will be sold until March or while supplies last. So, this doesn't surprise me all that much. Like, it seems to be very similar to the NES Classic and to the SNES Classic. You know, it was like, it's going to be here for this window. So, which... Get
it while the getting's good.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, we still don't have pre-orders yet. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. It's selling for what, $50, right?
50, yep.
Yeah. So yeah, stay tuned for that. As soon as we know, we'll let you guys know, because we'll
add everybody in the Discord when it's up.
Exactly.
Yeah, the website removed any mention of pre-order, right?
Well, the website had, the official Nintendo website had said pre-orders. It didn't have a date, I don't think, and it also said pre-orders will be up, or purchase is pending FCC approval, and that no longer says that. So they got the FCC approval that they needed, and they gave a launch date of November 13th, and mentioned that it would be sold through March 31st or while supplies last. Best Buy and like GameStop have had the placeholders up with the price, which is how we learned the price, I think, first was through those placeholders.
I think so, yeah.
And I have a notification from Best Buy to tell me when it's up, and Wario64 will tell you as well. So right. we'll make sure we get it in the Discord if you guys aren't following those sources. But yeah, I think it's going to be something that you have to jump on, and Amazon is usually kind of late to that game sometimes on those pre-orders or fulfillments. So you might be better off going through one of the brick and mortars that you can go pick it up on day of. So it just depends. But I don't even know if I've seen a placeholder on Amazon yet.
No, not yet. I didn't see one yet, at least. Yeah, we'll see. Amazon canceled my pre-order for Cat Mario and Cat Peach.
Yeah, I'm glad I have it through Best Buy. I didn't. I saw all those stories about that.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Last I checked, those were still available on GameStop.com, and also the Monster Hunter Amiibo are only available through GameStop.com. They're pricey. They're $25 for one of them and $19.99 or $20 for the other two. So,
right. And the one that's $24.99 is also in the collector's edition, and apparently it's a different variant than the one that you can buy at GameStop.
Money, 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 money.
But there's no word on whether or not it does anything different than the other ones.
Wait.
It-
What?
Well, so it's a different. It looks different.
So that means Josh is gonna have to buy 2 collector's editions of the game then.
Oh no.
But they also said it doesn't matter what amiibo. You don't need to scan the Monster Hunter amiibos. You can scan any amiibo, and you'll
Okay.
still get the same stuff. But they didn't say if. But they did say you get special stuff if you scan those in once a day.
I mean,
So-
that was also the case for Breath of the Wild, and that stuff ended up equaling out a little bit at the end.
I can't
Right.
say I'm surprised. I'm looking at Mega Man 11 amiibo right now in the box, you know. So
But then there's also the Shovel Knight and the Gold Shovel Knight, and those did the exact same thing. Like the game doesn't know the difference.
the nice thing with those ones is they didn't put at least the first one, they didn't put a lead
Right. Yeah. The
little
protector on the bottom of the cake.
so you could scan it with it in the package. And this didn't it unlock multiplayer or something silly. So
Like early, I think, something like that.
yeah. So, but yeah, so they're available on GameStop, and well, at least they were. I got the 3 of them pre-ordered. The Cat, Peach, and Mario, Cat Mario, were still available. Here's a little tip for you if you want to get free shipping with them, because you have to be over $35. Just pick up something that they'll be shipping immediately, because I had all 5 of these things in my cart, and they were going to charge me $30 in shipping, and I was like, well, this is odd. So then I went into the store just so I could do it in store, and the guy behind the counter was like, wait a minute, why isn't this free shipping? And then realized if he put anything in there, it doesn't, like a pair of socks, whatever, you know, just like some kind of $5 item that was going to ship immediately, it would then give the whole cart free shipping.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That seems like a weird bug in their system then.
Yeah, I don't know what's the deal with that, but anyway, if you don't want to pay all that shipping, that's one way you can get around it. It's just by buying something small.
GameStop's hanging on a thread with not offering free shipping. They need their money where they can get it.
Right, exactly. So, but yeah, but I didn't know there was another variant in the special edition.
Yeah.
Do you not have the special edition ordered?
Not yet. I will now. Like, I was planning on getting it, but the picture I saw I've seen the box art. I didn't see anything about an amiibo. I just missed it. So
I think it's the GameStop exclusive, like collector's edition.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, I'll have to go back there tomorrow and get it pre-ordered. If it's still available. They didn't even mention it, which is weird. So maybe it's already out of stock.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Because yeah, he didn't. Usually those guys are all about trying to get you to get those pre-orders, you know. So kind of interesting there. But well, let's. This has been crazy. We were struggling to come up with talking points, but we've been playing so much and just chatting about games that we've burned through the hour. But we'll chat a little bit here. We got a few things we can talk about.
Here we go!
So with Halloween right around the corner, we thought it'd be fun to talk about some spooky Halloween games on the Switch, and then maybe some of the games that have given us a good scare through the years, whether they be Nintendo games or not. So, I mean, I'm gonna just take the easy answer and say, you better play Luigi's Mansion. Like, that's it doesn't get any spookier than that. Actually, if we look back on the Smash reveal of the Castlevania characters and what happened to Luigi, that was super dark. That was super dark when they took his spirit. I was like, oh, come back. But yeah, Luigi's Mansion, that game, it has so much charm, and so it's so much fun. And what's really interesting is I'm actually considering starting that game over and just doing a complete playthrough for YouTube.
Did you finish it?
I haven't. No, I've started it twice and made it to the same part both times, and and then stops. So
Wait, which
I
one?
have like
you're
a
talking about?
this is 3. Yeah.
Yeah, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
yeah, like I have a completion run to finish, but I did beat King Boo or whatever.
Got it. Yeah. So
Right. Yeah, because the mansion looks different based on how much money you get
oh,
throughout
interesting.
the whole run.
Huh.
At the end.
That's cool. I love that kind of stuff. That's great. So yeah, that's one that I would say definitely pick up. Of course, the other ones that I would mention are the Resident Evil collection, Resident Evil 1 and and I think even
0 and 1 are together, and then 4, 5, and 6 are in the triple pack, and
Right.
then there's
But they're all sold separately digitally.
yeah, and then there's the Revelations 2-pack that's physical / digital, because only one game's on the cart.
Yeah.
Or only half of the one game is on the cart, because you have to download the file sizes on those are 20 something gigs, I think.
not small.
Yep.
Not small. So is there any spooky indies that Chris being well, I mean, you bought one for me. The Inside is pretty pretty spooky.
Inside, yeah. It's Inside, Limbo, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But also on the 3DS, you got the Spirit camera, which is like Fatal Frame. It takes place in the world of Fatal Frame, but it uses those AR cards that came with the 3DS. But yeah, I'm pretty much that's all I can really think of for on the Switch, like the
How do we not have Dead Space on Switch yet?
I know. Chat's got a few. Outlast is on the Switch. If you need something spooky, Outlast is like it's up there. Amnesia, Dead by Daylight. You got Friday the 13th as well. If you want some, I think there's a game called Hollow, right? That's kind of Dead Space-esque. It's like a first-person shooter. I ended up getting it for like $2 at one time.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't play that much. Alien Isolation is on the Switch, which is also
that's true.
Which is also pretty
Alien,
creepy.
That one, and there's also like, geez, now I can't even remember the name of it. But yeah, the what's the one? It's like a survival game. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's like overhead. And it's sort of spooky. But it is... I'm just delaying while oh, Blair Witch. That's on there.
Blair Witch is on there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
those are kind of...
Yeah?
Yeah. So Blair Witch is different than the Dead by Daylight and Friday the 13th style, right?
It's like a story, first-person story game.
As I say, I think I had that on Game Pass, I think, for a little bit.
And the game's pretty much about as spooky as the one I'm thinking of. About as spooky as like Luigi's Mansion, but it's Don't Starve. And it's like when you can't be in pitch black. Like you need to have a fire, or else the darkness consumes you and you get eaten by the stuff in the woods.
I like it.
But yeah,
that's cool.
That's a survival game that I really like the art style, and it's on sale for $4.99 right now on the Switch.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Let's take a trip back memory lane. What are some of the first games you guys remember getting scared by? Like that maybe it was a jump scare, or like, just games that were kind of terrifying. Crawler, start us off.
Probably like Doom 64 maybe back in the day when I was younger. I mean, there's some dark elements that you're walking around with just the flashlight and stuff in Doom. So,
no, you just reminded me. Like I remember I was like 17, 18 in my bedroom with my 64. I had Jen had got me surround sound, and then my parents got me Turok 2, and I remember being in there and this like raptor or whatever came up behind me, and then I was like, I jumped, and then I invited everybody in. I'm like, okay, you guys gotta check this out, listen how awesome this is, and then they all jumped because it just came out of nowhere. So yeah, that was probably one of the first for me too, for sure. How
did the 64, like, because I remember like Perfect Dark, like how did the 64 take advantage of like 5.1 surround sound? Like that seems like it's so advanced for something that didn't have. Because I remember seeing like the Dolby image for Perfect Dark, and I remember you could hear footsteps, like because my parents' basement had surround sound wired in the basement that I played, and I could remember hearing footsteps around me. I feel like it's just impressive for tech that old to have surround sound incorporated into it. It must have been, I guess, on the chip in the cart. Yeah,
they really drug their feet for digital audio, like getting into the Dolby Digital and things like that. Like it was always just I can't remember what it was called back then, but like they were.
It was. I think it was 5.1. I think it was the initial. That was back then, because now it's like what 7 point something or 8.
Yeah, it gets crazy now, but.
And I think the only reason they even had that in there was because it was a part of the arcade chip for the surround sound in the arcade, like for like
the cabinets were
built
for that.
Yeah. One of the first game, like one thing I can't stand, like if I'm playing a game and some like big monster or creatures like running after me, I always like pause the game. And the first time that happened for me was like Friday the 13th, when like I'm just like this kid running down. It looks terrible now, but back when it first came out, it was like I was running from Jason, and and there was no way you could kill him.
Are you talking NES?
Yeah, for the NES.
Yes.
So
That's awesome.
he would see me, he would just start running, and I never beat that game because I got tired of him. I started playing it, and he would just, even in the middle of the day, I would be like, "Nah, I don't want to play this game anymore."
That's so great. That's so great. I remember for me, like, I had Aliens versus Predator on PC, and I could not play as the Marines. The aliens scared me so bad. If those things would run up and jump scare, I was like, nope. And and then Resident Evil Remake on Gamecube. That one, I was like, I'm playing this during the day. That's it. I'm not playing this one at night.
Yeah,
no,
I'm playing because I have Resident Evil 2 Remake on PlayStation, and I've been that can give you kind of some eerie vibes.
Right. Yeah. Playing like Resident Evil 1 on the PlayStation, and the dog jumping through the window, and then playing the remake, and it didn't jump through the window, but then when I came back through again, it jumped through then. Crap out of me.
Yes, dude. I jumped on that. It was at that point I was like, okay, I'm only playing this game during the day. Forget it. I'm not.
I was say, because I have Revelations 1 and 2. I have 0 and 1, and then I have 2 Remake on PlayStation. 7 Biohazards on Game Pass that I have downloaded. So there's a bunch of Resident Evils I can play to scare me. But yeah, you want the lights on and you don't want to play at night. Like I remember playing it over the summer with like the window open and you could hear the wind blowing out. It's like, nope.
Yeah, that's like, my brother's older than me, so we got Resident Evil the day it came out, and he was like, all right, we picked it up the day, like it came out like on a Friday, and we got it and went to the house, and he's like, I'll let you play first. I was like, okay, cool. So I picked Chris, and he only has the knife, and so like you see the first zombie, and he's like, go ahead and kill it, go ahead, go get it. So I'm just sitting here like shink shink shink, and it's just not doing anything to him. And so then he's like, I'm gonna try Jill, and she like starts with a gun, and I was like, oh, come on. So we like went back and forth with lives. Like when you died, then the next person took over. So he played for like an hour after that. But yeah, I just remember anytime something like comes after you, like in some of the other Resident Evil games, where like just like the Nemesis or whatever is running after you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wish I had it downloaded on my PlayStation. But what was the free demo follow up to PT? Silent Hill? PT. I wish I had that. I wish I did. Because then you can't download it now. It's just it doesn't. It's
right,
that thing of myth.
Right. Well, and that's Spare Change is saying like Silent Hill is one of the games he loved. Yeah, Resident Evil on PS1, and Crawler, you mentioned Doom 64, but Doom, I think it was Doom 3 on the Xbox.
Maybe it was Doom 3. Yeah, that's what it was. So it wasn't on 64, but yeah, it was more the flashlight. It was more flashlight stuff. Doom 3. That's what it was.
Because you couldn't hold a gun and a flashlight.
Yes, it was the worst.
Because you're just hitting stuff with your flashlight.
I remember doing multiplayer with my buddy Nick, and I'm like, I don't want the flashlight. You want the flashlight? He's like, no, I want the gun. I'm like, no, I want the gun, right? And we're literally screaming, running towards the doorway, like closing the door, like, okay, we made it. You know, like, I'm like, I'm not going back in there. It's like, I'm not going back in there either.
So speaking of flashlight stuff, Colt and Pitt and I and Cryptic were playing this new Phasmophobia or whatever game that's out on Steam.
Yeah.
And there's only like so many flashlights you can have in your inventory, like, and you only get to carry like 3 things per your person, and you have to have some ghost hunting equipment with you. So like, if the ghost can turn out the lights in the house, and you have to find the breaker box to get back to it. And if you're without a flashlight, you're just like, you're crapping your pants, and you're like, I need to get out of this house. I need to get out of the house.
What's interesting too is games like Dead Space, I just got used to them so fast. It didn't like nothing, even if stuff would jump out, I'm like, nah, whatever. Like I just got some of these scary games I just get used to, and then other ones.
And it all depends on sound design too. Sound design makes a scary game, and if the sound and the music, or just the ambient clicks and rustles and all that kind of stuff, if it can set the mood, sound can scare you more than the visuals, because it's the fear of anticipation more so than just what happens on screen.
Yeah, Spare Change is asking if BioShock is scary. I don't remember. I think I had one time that I jumped in that game, and then it never. But I've had other people tell me, they're like, "Oh, that game was terrifying. I couldn't play it. It was too much." You know. So
that's one of the, like I said, one of the games I paused because the
Big Daddy,
just runs after you.
Yeah.
Nope. I have a lot of dreams where I'm in an open field and there's just a guy running at me with a chainsaw. So anytime I see someone run at me in a game, I just pause it and I'm like, nope. All right, something. I'll go play Kirby.
I get enough jumps. I get enough jump scares playing Tarkov when you just get shot out of nowhere. So like,
yeah.
Oh, it's too funny. It's too funny. I was playing Resident Evil 7 on stream, and the chat tweeted at my son to come into my bedroom and scare me. So I have all the lights off, headphones on. I'm just totally engrossed, and all of a sudden I get grabbed, right? And I'm live, and I was like so thankful I didn't like clock him, because I mean I was just like, why am I getting grabbed right now, So, but yeah, there's something special about the scary games. I do enjoy them. So let us know. Tweet at us. What are you guys going to be playing? Are you going to play something scary over Halloween, or are you going to just be playing Splatoon because of Splatfest? Let us let us know.
Pikmin, because it comes out the day before.
Yeah, or Pikmin, which is, I mean, it's got its moments.
Hey, Pikmin get murdered at the end of the day if you don't get them.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. All right. Well, let's wrap this thing up. Becker Plays, aka Super Nintendo, or was known as
the artist formerly known as
yeah. Where can we find you?
You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, everywhere as Becker Plays. Or
TikTok. So, when's TikTok getting the name change, and when are you going to start making some TikToks?
Well, I haven't changed my name on TikTok because I think once I change it, someone else can take it. So I haven't decided yet if I'm going to keep.
Just gotta make a second account.
Or if I'm gonna go over. I'm thinking about just going back as Super Nintendo. We'll see what happens.
Got it.
So you might be able to find me as Super Nintendo everywhere soon.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go. There you go. Thanks again for taking the time to come hang out with us. Like short notice. Literally, we fired up stream. We're chatting. Like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, I'll come talk. I'm like, all right, cool.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. So.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thank you for doing it. Crawler, where can we find you?
You guys can find me hanging out in the Discord, talking about all sorts of different stuff, playing different games. So come hang out. n64josh.com/discord. Mainly come race Mario Kart with us on Mondays and Fridays, and whenever else we decide to play. And then, like I was talking about earlier, been working on the stream, so getting new scenes and all sorts of stuff set up. So come hang out. Nightcrawler724. Nightcrawler's without the E, and that's on Twitch. And I'm promoting all sorts of stuff. So yeah, come hang out.
Awesome. You guys can find me everywhere at N64Josh, putting out a ton of content on TikTok, YouTube. I'm even posting. I have this, like, I'm getting pretty regimented with my content schedule and what's going to be coming out when, and it's slowly coming together. But I have this really cool shelf behind me with all this Nintendo stuff, and I'm using it as a backdrop for just at least one photo a day that I'm putting up on Instagram of just like a game or a console. And I'm just asking people, what's the first memory that comes to mind when you see this? And it's been so cool.
I tweeted at you today.
You did, yeah, you did. And so it's been really cool because it goes out on Twitter, it goes out on Facebook, and so I can't always get to all of them because it's too many notifications, but I do try to read all of them and at least like them or whatever if I can, because it's really cool seeing the stories, you know, a lot of like younger kids like, oh, playing with my dad or playing with my mom or playing with my siblings, and you know, there's just everybody's got some memories tied to these games. Today was Mario Kart Wii, so of course it got a lot of response, especially from the younger generation. So we appreciate you guys listening. We hit 750,000 downloads. Thank you. We love you. Bye now.
Bye.